Donald Winnicott's pioneering work in psychology continues to shape our understanding of human development and emotional experience. His groundbreaking concepts, such as the good enough mother, revolutionized the field and transformed the way we think about childhood and parenting. As we delve into his extraordinary life, get ready to uncover the fascinating story of a man who dedicated himself to healing the deepest wounds of the human psyche. Born on April 7, 1896 in Plymouth, England, Winnicott was the youngest of 3 children to Sir John Frederick Winnicott and Elizabeth Martha Woods Winnicott. His father, a successful merchant, served as the mayor of Plymouth, while his mother managed the household and raised their children. This dichotomy between his parents' roles would later influence Winnicott's understanding of the interplay between the external world and internal experiences. Winnicott's relationship with his mother was particularly significant, as she struggled with depression and anxiety throughout his childhood. This exposure to his mother's emotional turmoil instilled in him a deep empathy for those suffering from mental health issues. Moreover, his mother's own experiences with melancholy would later inform Winnicott's concept of the good enough mother, highlighting the importance of a caregiver's emotional availability and responsiveness in shaping a child's development. As a child, Winnicott was known to be sensitive and introverted, often finding solace in nature and creative pursuits. He developed a passion for music, playing the piano, and would later use musical metaphors to describe the therapeutic process. This early connection to art and imagination would become a hallmark of his approach to psychology, as he sought to understand the human experience through the lens of creativity and play. Winnicott's educational journey began at the Leys School in Cambridge, where he excelled academically and developed a strong interest in science and philosophy. He went on to study medicine at Jesus College, Cambridge, and later at St. Bartholomew's Hospital in London. It was during his medical training that Winnicott became increasingly fascinated with the human psyche, particularly in the context of pediatric care. His work with children would eventually lead him to the field of psychoanalysis, where he would make significant contributions to our understanding of childhood development and emotional experience. Under the mentorship of Dr. James Strachey, a prominent psychoanalyst and translator of Freud's works, Winnicott began to explore the world of psychoanalysis. As Winnicott delved deeper into the field, he began to develop his unique perspective on human development, one that would emphasize the importance of early relationships, play, and creativity in shaping our emotional lives. Winnicott's own analysis with James Strachey played a significant role in his personal and professional growth. Through this process, he gained a deeper understanding of his own emotional experiences, including his feelings of inadequacy and anxiety. This self-awareness would later inform his approach to therapy, as he sought to create a safe and non-judgmental space for his patients to explore their own emotions and desires. As Winnicott's interest in psychoanalysis deepened, he began to develop a unique approach that emphasized the importance of early relationships and environmental factors in shaping human development. His work with children at the Paddington Green Children's Hospital, where he served as a pediatrician, provided him with a wealth of observational data that would later inform his theories on childhood development. It was during this period that Winnicott started to formulate his concept of the transitional object, which refers to the way children use certain objects, such as a favorite toy or blanket, to cope with separation anxiety and navigate the transition from dependence to independence. Winnicott's own experiences as a father also played a significant role in shaping his theories on child development. His wife, Claire Britton, was a social worker, and together they had one daughter, Catherine. Winnicott's observations of his daughter's growth and development, particularly during the early years, influenced his ideas about the importance of maternal care and the role of the environment in shaping a child's emotional life. He noted how his daughter would use transitional objects, such as a soft toy, to self-soothe when she felt anxious or separated from her mother. One of Winnicott's most significant contributions to psychoanalysis was his concept of the holding environment, which refers to the way a caregiver provides a sense of safety and security for a child. He believed that this environment was crucial for healthy development, as it allowed children to explore and learn without feeling overwhelmed by anxiety or fear. Winnicott's ideas on the holding environment were influenced by his work with patients who had experienced trauma or neglect in their early lives. He observed how these individuals often struggled to form healthy relationships or regulate their emotions, and he believed that this was due to a lack of a secure holding environment during their childhood. Winnicott's relationships with his contemporaries, including Melanie Klein and Ronald Fairbairn, played an important role in shaping his theories. He was particularly influenced by Klein's work on the role of the mother-child relationship in shaping the child's emotional life. However, Winnicott also disagreed with some of Klein's ideas, particularly her emphasis on the importance of the child's fantasy life. Winnicott believed that the environment and early relationships played a more significant role in shaping human development than did fantasy or instinctual drives. Despite his significant contributions to psychoanalysis, Winnicott's approach was not without controversy. Some critics argued that his emphasis on environmental factors overlooked the role of innate instincts and drives in shaping human behavior. Others criticized his ideas on the holding environment, arguing that they were too focused on the mother-child relationship and neglected the importance of other relationships, such as those between fathers and children or among siblings. Winnicott's own analysis with James Strachey also raised questions about the role of countertransference in his work, as some critics argued that his close relationship with Strachey influenced his theories and clinical practice. As Winnicott continued to develop his ideas, he began to focus more on the importance of play in childhood development. He believed that play allowed children to explore and express their emotions in a safe and controlled environment, and that it was essential for healthy development. Winnicott's work on play also led him to develop his concept of the squiggle game, which involved drawing simple shapes or squiggles with patients as a way of exploring their thoughts and feelings. This technique allowed Winnicott to engage with patients in a more playful and creative way, and it provided valuable insights into their emotional lives. Winnicott's emphasis on play and creativity also influenced his approach to therapy. He believed that the therapeutic relationship should be a collaborative and creative process, rather than a didactic or authoritarian one. Winnicott's own clinical practice reflected this approach, as he often used playful and imaginative techniques to engage with patients and help them explore their emotions. His work with patients who had experienced trauma or neglect was particularly influential, as it highlighted the importance of creating a safe and non-judgmental environment for exploration and healing. As Winnicott's ideas on play and creativity continued to evolve, he began to explore the concept of transitional objects in greater depth. He observed how children often become attached to specific objects, such as a favorite toy or blanket, which serve as a source of comfort and security during times of stress or uncertainty. Winnicott believed that these transitional objects played a crucial role in the child's transition from dependence on the mother to independence, allowing them to navigate the space between the two. One notable example of Winnicott's work with transitional objects can be seen in his case study of a young boy who had become deeply attached to a specific teddy bear. The boy would carry the teddy bear with him everywhere, using it as a source of comfort when he felt anxious or scared. Winnicott worked with the boy to explore the meaning behind this attachment, using the squiggle game and other playful techniques to help the boy express his feelings. Through this process, Winnicott was able to help the boy understand the significance of the teddy bear as a transitional object, and eventually, the boy was able to gradually relinquish his attachment to it as he developed greater confidence and independence. Winnicott's work on transitional objects also led him to explore the concept of potential space, which refers to the area between the individual and the environment where creativity, play, and imagination can occur. He believed that this potential space was essential for healthy development, as it allowed individuals to experiment, take risks, and learn from their experiences. Winnicott's ideas on potential space have had a profound impact on our understanding of human development, highlighting the importance of creating environments that foster creativity, exploration, and imagination. In his personal life, Winnicott's relationship with his wife Claire Britton continued to be an important source of support and inspiration. Claire, a social worker herself, shared Winnicott's passion for helping others and was deeply involved in his work. Together, they had a daughter, Catherine, who would later become a psychotherapist in her own right. Winnicott's experiences as a father and husband likely influenced his theories on child development and the importance of early relationships, as he was able to observe firsthand the ways in which these relationships shape our emotional lives. As Winnicott's reputation as a leading psychoanalyst continued to grow, he began to attract the attention of other prominent thinkers in the field. One notable contemporaneous relationship was with the psychologist Ronald Fairbairn, who shared Winnicott's interest in the role of early relationships in shaping human development. The two men engaged in a series of lively debates and discussions, which helped to refine their ideas and push the boundaries of psychoanalytic theory. Despite his many contributions to the field, Winnicott's approach was not without its criticisms. As Winnicott's ideas on potential space continued to evolve, he began to explore its implications for adult development and creativity. He believed that the ability to access and utilize potential space was essential for maintaining a sense of vitality and imagination throughout life. In his own life, Winnicott found solace in creative pursuits, such as playing the piano and writing poetry, which allowed him to tap into this potential space. One notable example of Winnicott's work with adults can be seen in his analysis of a successful businessman who had become stagnant and unfulfilled in his career. The man, despite outward appearances of success, felt empty and disconnected from his creative spark. Winnicott worked with the man to explore the ways in which he had lost touch with his potential space, using techniques such as free association and dream analysis to uncover the underlying causes of his stagnation. Through this process, Winnicott helped the man to identify the ways in which his rigid adherence to societal expectations and norms had stifled his creativity and imagination. By encouraging the man to explore and express his true desires and interests, Winnicott facilitated a breakthrough that allowed him to reconnect with his potential space and find new meaning and purpose in his life. Winnicott's work with adults also led him to develop the concept of the true self versus the false self. He believed that the true self was the authentic, spontaneous, and creative aspect of the personality, while the false self was the persona or mask that individuals adopted to conform to societal expectations. Winnicott argued that the development of a strong, healthy sense of self required the integration of the true and false selves, allowing individuals to express themselves authentically and creatively. In his relationships with contemporaries, Winnicott engaged in lively debates and discussions with other prominent thinkers in the field, including Melanie Klein and Ronald Fairbairn. These exchanges helped to refine his ideas and push the boundaries of psychoanalytic theory. Despite their differences, Winnicott maintained a deep respect for his colleagues and was known for his generosity and openness in sharing his own ideas and insights. However, Winnicott's approach was not without its criticisms. Some argued that his emphasis on the role of the mother in shaping the child's development was overly simplistic and neglected the contributions of other family members and environmental factors. Others criticized his concept of the good-enough mother, arguing that it implied a lack of ambition or striving for excellence in parenting. In response to these criticisms, Winnicott clarified that his intention was not to diminish the importance of other factors, but rather to highlight the unique and critical role that the mother plays in the early stages of development. He also emphasized that the good-enough mother was not a fixed or static concept, but rather a dynamic and adaptive process that required ongoing effort and dedication. His innovative ideas on the holding environment, potential space, and the true self have not only influenced generations of psychoanalysts, but also continue to inspire new perspectives on creativity, authenticity, and personal growth. As Winnicott so eloquently put it, the precursor of the mirror is the mother's face, highlighting the profound importance of early relationships in shaping our sense of self. That's all for today's Psych with Sigmund. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, may your ego find balance between pleasure and reality.